There are bats in my head. Hey heroes, Isaac Zephyr here, and welcome to the final part of building the Autobrewer. I worked for quite a couple hours, I'd say about 4 or 5 minimum, just sorting out problems, not to mention actually putting this thing together. So, yeah, let's take our first view at the final decision that needs to be made. I fixed this input here, so if one is on, it will know to swap to the alternate rail. Yeah. And if the other one's on, it will also swap to that rail, but then change the other one there. So you basically, your neutral is nothing on this. Or no, sorry, your neutral is the left. Anyway, I'll sort it all out and tell you, and assign an item for each of them. But then there's this cluster up top. And that's because, unlike this one, where we had to make two decisions, one of whether we wanted something or not, and one of which one of those two to go to. In this one, all of our choices need to lead to something. You can't not have one of these things, unless you were technically going for a fermented spider eye, but I don't want that. So, you got 1, 2, 3 decisions to make. So, we have each of these set up as a 2-choice bit. And I haven't hooked all of these up together, but I will show you once I have. I just wanted to get all this out of the way before it's even more clustered. So you've got 2 choices on this one, 2 choices over here for that one, 2 choices for, whoop, a little bit of lag because this thing's huge. 2 choices over here for this one, and then the 7th choice is a blank, so there's no extra choice there. If we move up one stage, how it decides which of those 2 segments to get is that there are if we go by our glowstone bit, that's our 3 bits there. We have 2 more decisions that were there. That's here and here. And then the main decision in the first place is in between them here. So now what needs to be done is it needs to be wired much like this one was down here, where it's going to have a neutral. We'll have to find out which one the neutral is. The neutral, by definition, will be whichever one is in this container. Let's see, our neutral right now is, if we follow the track as it stands, around to here, down in, around back, and this one's our neutral. So, yeah, our neutral will be pretty much just kind of a dead switch, cut off for the rest of them, which I'll put together the panel later, which means that option 2, which is this one on the same one, is it? Because we want to change this decision if the neutral is automatically to go the one way. The second one, so yeah, this one here will be a direct output to its lever. So that'll be option 2. Yeah. And I'll have all this hooked up for a demonstration at the end. And, I'll show you too when it's all hooked up. Alright, which means option 3, which is now this one, means that the one just before that has to change. So option 3's signal, which will be the neutral of just going here. So this one becomes option 3. Its signal has to just come from this one. So option 4 is obviously the same. Option 4 needs to pass this one and activate this one. So it's going to be long and complicated because the further down we get with the options, the more paths need to be taken. So this redstone wire will basically be nothing, but this one will have all three decisions on it. So I'm going to wire that complication up, hopefully in a presentable manner, and I shall be back. Alright, I'm just going to give another quick breakdown of it in a little easier to understand terms, so I'm not flying around the complicated machine. So for option 1, it'll be neutral. Nothing will be activated. With option B, it's going to make it, the decision has to reach to C, or C, so our third level in. On this one, a decision needs to be made at B, which is our second level in. On this one, you'll need a decision at B and C. For the next one, you'll need just a decision at A. For the next one, A and C. And for the last one, A and B, because we have 7. If we had 8, there would also be one that is a decision at A, B, and C. But thankfully, we don't have that. These ones are already decided. So yeah, that's just a quick breakdown in terms of how the decision process between 7 things is made. Alright, so I just finished up the wiring, and it turns out that I was actually wrong because of how our thing is, or because of how I did the placement and the natural decision of the rails. This option is actually a decision at A and B, and this is a decision at A, B, and C, and that was because, to explain that, since we have a 7 option. Because we have 7 options, we have one that's going to be always on its own, and that just so happened to be our decision at A is our blank. Sorry, anyway, our decision flat A is our blank, which means which means our decision AB falls into here, so then we need a decision ABC because we're passing all 3 circuits. Granted, I managed to do all of this, and actually it was kind of easier to do the ABC than run more separate wires. So, the wiring for option 1 is nothing. It'll just be a kind of like a reset lock, more or less. Option 2 goes straight through to this junction here, option C, or the third level in. Option 3 goes on its own all the way up here and around. I had to use some repeaters, so there's kind of a small delay, not anything worth noting, to this here, which is a level 2, or option B. Yeah. Option 4 automatically powers option 3 to make sure that the same one is lit, and then goes through, around, down, and around to its bit for a level 3 option, or level 3 or C, whichever. Yeah. Option 5, I took it down under. Yeah, it would have been easier if I had done this all with wool, just for demonstration purposes, but I wasn't really thinking. I was just kind of, well, I was thinking, that's why I wasn't worried about it. To our option A, so our main junction. Then the next one, which is our AB, will power the previous one, as well as it'll go in to... Now I want to follow this properly. In, then directly up, and tick it over, down to here, so this junction there, which is a level 2, or option B. And then our final one powers the previous 2 rails, and then just comes down here to the last little segment. So there we go. So I can run these wires down to our thing. Once we have it all hooked up, I can fill this in and we can do a final test for the Autobrewer with the interface. So I will see you for that. Alright, it would appear contrary to my belief, Etho's selector panel cannot work upside down. So yeah, I guess I gotta flip all of the images and the switches. So I'll be back after that stuff. Alright, heroes, everything is wired together. There's a reset for the ingredients one, not the potions one, because I'm kind of lazy and I don't really want to work on this project anymore. So much to do. Anyway, I got the selector set up for the actual instructions on that. Go to Etho's channel, because it is his, not mine. And now, the fun part of testing this out. What do we want to make? Well, our neutrals are health potions, so we'll make it first. And we'll make it last longer. That'll take a second to go. Or no, health potions can't last longer. Let's make it stronger. There we are. And let's get that one underway. So that signal will go, which should set everything in motion. Yep, water bottles are already in, as you can tell by that minecart being there. With, oh no, I've got 60 sugar in my inventory. Now, where's that one? So it should have already gone. Yeah, it's not at the station, which means it's gone down. Oh, it got stuck. Guess it clipped out. Here we are. Yeah, this thing's a little on the sizable side, so it went out of my render distance. There we go. Now it's loading the ingredients up, which means that should be brewing now. Assuming everything went according to plan, and that should just make some plus strength health potions, if I recall. Ingredients are done, so they should be on their way back up. Yep. And now we just wait for brewing to be done. Oh, dope. Yeah. Whoops. I forgot to put the nether wart in the first earth dropper. Whoops. Alright, now we know the importance of keeping this thing full, because I forgot to put the netherrack in. Alright, so, yeah, as a test, let's do something all out. We'll swap this over to strength. No, wait, no. Swap it to night vision. Extended duration. Change it to invisibility. And make it a splash. Now if we go up here, it's already taken that path. Don't think it got lost again, did it? Shouldn't have. Yep. There it is, loading the ingredients. The potions are loaded. And now we can wait for the glorious proof that this honker works. Or this redstone nightmare, really, after I manually hooked everything up. I should have probably used different wiring for that. But that's not what I'm showing off right now. Yeah, because the selections bits on their own are a thing. The core for the brewing is a thing. Each reload system is a thing, and I can go more in depth to them in later redstone stuff. It's a bunch of little machines making one big thing. And I'll leave a download link in the description for this map if I can manage it, so that you can check it out on your own. And let's check how this is doing, because I think it should have been gone by now. Not even all the ingredients are out. Oh, it was a big potion, I suppose. Yep, there we go. Last ingredients out of the hopper. And our prize for all of this effort. It can do any potion that you want as long as you give it the input. Smart enough to know which one to do. And voila! Splash potions of invisibility, 6 minutes. So, we've got our proven test. And you know what? I think that's what I'm going to call it for this machine. I'm not even going to hook up the timer. I don't even care anymore. Too much work on this machine, too much time put into it. Maybe I'll finish it up in terms of the timer later. But I don't want to be in this redstone nightmare any longer. So, till next time, this is Isaac Zephyr, signing out. See y'all later, heroes.